Mr. Reed could not be here, so I'm going to talk a little bit about what maintenance needs or things they need, and not they do need some things. Number one for Mr. Reed, and he might be here at the March 11th meeting, is a raise for the full-time maintenance employees. He'd also like a new 3/4 ton truck that could have, not new, another 3/4 ton truck with a snowplow. Crack repair, as Mr. Bennett mentioned, at Jeter Watson and Edgemont with the resealing of the parking lot. We still have a concern and not have been able to do what's called a phase loss relay for the Jeter Watson Edgemont mechanical room. There is a unit, HVAC unit on the roof of CHS that needs to probably be replaced in the very near future. He'd like to see about getting a new zero-turn mower for CHS, floor scrubbing machines for all of our buildings. There's also the need to do some things here at the school board office, and one of the things is to add a gas line in the attic. So possibly one day this school board can get away from the old-fashioned boiler that probably is not going to live forever, and possibly put in some additional heat pumps here. And he has actually thinks that there will need to be 4 somewhere down the road. So he would like to be thinking ahead and maybe replacing one a year or adding one a year. He does have the need to remove the asbestos in the back hall, the first floor at CHS, or the teacher's lounge at CHS. And there's also another stairwell. I forgot about the teacher's lounge. He's been working with our asbestos gentleman. We don't have a quote yet for what it would cost to do the asbestos replacement, but he's estimating $40,000 for the new building estimate, first floor, the teacher's lounge in the 20s. And then the stairwell asbestos removal, last year one stairwell cost us $20-some thousand. So we have still some asbestos that really needs to be considered for replacement. And we keep hoping that each time we do another project, that's it. I'm hoping that we can do each of those projects. He did put on his list the seal the whole parking lot at Edgemont and Jeter, plus the crack repair. He's also mentioned that the track and this is not on your list you got from him originally, to reseal the rubberized track or whatever that covering is at the Burton Field track. That had to be a special kind of, so we could do state meets, Mr. Bennett and Dr. Frump.
It's pelletized rubber.
Okay, yeah. So he thinks that that's going to have to be done in the near future, so we can continue to use that as a track.
Did he have a price in
No, but our asbestos guy is supposed to be, also does that, and he's supposed to be getting us a price on that as well. And going back to the Edgemont and Jeter Watson facility, there's a walking track around that building. I told Mr. Reed I do sometimes walk when I'm energetic, and there are some cracks in that track, and that track around there needs to be filled in and maybe possibly sealed at some point in time. Now that's going to there's tree roots that are coming and causing bumps, and you know how the tree roots can break up your asphalt. So that needs to be considered as well, and that's a wonderful walking track. A lot of community members walk that track at night and at daytime. We need to take care of that as well. So that was Mr. Reed and Mrs. Perkins from the transportation office here in the cafeteria did put on her list leasing of another bus. And then hiring of a person for full-time employment to be a floater for substitute bus driver and maybe custodial maintenance, and new or used staff vehicles, and we have purchased some used staff vehicles. On your table tonight, we have been in contact with the Bluebird representative, and there are some buses sitting on the Bluebird lot. I think I gave it to you. Yeah, the Bluebird lot in Petersburg, and we've talked to that gentleman about the possibility of leasing another bus in the near future, and that information is not in anybody's budget, but she does feel that we need to start a replacement cycle. And of course, having buses is wonderful, but we need bus drivers. So we really need to think about increasing what we currently pay our drivers and our substitute drivers if we're going to ever be able to keep a good number of bus drivers. We have the buses, we do not have the bus drivers, and I think every school division, you go see buses sitting on the side of the road and need a bus driver. We need bus drivers, so, but I think we're going to have to be competitive with what we pay our bus drivers to get. And Mr. Bennett does fill in, and I'd like to thank him publicly. We don't have a substitute, people get ill, and Mr. Bennett has been a great resource for us and helps out a lot, and I appreciate that, Mr. Bennett. Anybody else wants to get a CDL? Not me. Being a bus driver is a very, very responsible job, and it's not something that we need to take lightly. They get those kids home safely each and every day, and it's driving a bus. Mr. Bennett can attest to this. You've got to keep your eyes on the road and get all those stops, lights and everything working. Take care of the kids. Stop. It's a stressful, taxful job. We need to appreciate all those people that do that.
Can you have Darlene or Brenda research to see where competitive bus driver
We
pay
are
is?
looking into that. Yeah. And Mr. Bennett actually brought some information that he had seen, and I've been looking, and yes, we're looking at trying to be competitive with our bus driver and substitute bus driver.